My husband chose my bestie. In the sun-dappled hills of Napa Valley, where vineyards stretched like emerald tapestries under endless blue skies, Clara Ellis had built a life that felt like a well-tended garden, vibrant, rooted, and blooming with quiet promise. At 35, she was a sommelier at a boutique winery. Her days a symphony of earthy notes and velvet tannins, her laughter as rich as the cabernet she poured. Married to David for a decade, their love had started as a whirlwind romance in a rainy San Francisco cafe, where he'd sketched her portrait on a napkin, capturing the mischief in her hazel eyes. Now, their home was a cozy craftsman cottage nestled among the vines, filled with dog-eared books, mismatched mugs, and the faint scent of jasmine from the trellis outside their bedroom window. Lily Monroe had been Clara's best friend since college, a bond forged in late-night cram sessions and shared bottles of cheap Merlot. At 34, Lily was the free spirit to Clara's steady grace, a freelance photographer with wild auburn curls and a camera always slung around her neck, chasing light across continents. They'd been sisters in all but blood, Lily at Clara's wedding, toasting with tears in her eyes, Clara holding Lily through a brutal breakup, whispering affirmations until dawn. "You're my North Star," Lily would say, linking pinkies like they were kids again. In their circle, the three of them, Clara, David, Lily, were inseparable, a trio of easy camaraderie, barbecues under string lights, and road trips where David's playlists wove folk tunes with indie anthems. The first crack appeared subtly, like a hairline fracture in fine china, during a harvest festival in late September. The air hummed with laughter and the crush of grapes underfoot, fairy lights twinkling as the sun dipped low. Clara was in her element, swirling samples for guests, her sundress swirling around her ankles. David, a graphic designer who worked remotely, had taken the day off, his easy grin lighting up as he bantered with vendors. But it was Lily's arrival that shifted the breeze. Her hugs lingering a beat too long on David's shoulders, her eyes catching his in shared jokes that left Clara feeling like an afterthought. "You two are incorrigible," Clara teased, clinking glasses, but a twinge stirred in her chest, dismissed as festival fatigue. As autumn deepened, the twinges multiplied. David's late nights at the studio stretched into dawns, his phone buzzing with notifications he silenced too quickly. Lily's visits became a fixture, spontaneous drop-ins with prints from her latest shoot, the two of them huddled over his sketches in the living room, voices low and conspiratorial. Clara caught fragments, Lily's hand on his arm, a laugh that peeled too bright. One crisp October evening, as leaves skittered across the porch like fleeing secrets, Clara came home early from a wine tasting. The house was dim, candles flickering on the coffee table, a half-empty bottle of their wedding vintage between them. David and Lily sat close on the couch, heads bent together, her fingers tracing the lines of a drawing he'd made, of her ethereal and windswept. The air thickened with unspoken wine, and when they looked up, guilt painted their faces in shades of rose. "Clara," David started, voice cracking like dry earth, "we need to talk." The words that followed were a deluge, washing away the foundations she'd trusted. He'd fallen for Lily, her fire, her wanderlust, the way she made him feel alive again. Lily, tears streaming, clutched his hand. "I never meant to. But it's real, Clara. God, I'm so sorry." Betrayal bloomed hot and visceral in Clara's throat, a sob escaping before she could cage it. How? Her husband, the man who'd vowed forever under a canopy of stars. Her best friend, the confidant who'd held her secrets like sacred relics. The room spun, the jasmine outside mocking with its sweetness. She fled to the bedroom, curling into the duvet that still smelled of them, body racked with shudders that blurred into exhausted sleep. Dawn brought no mercy, only the hollow echo of an empty house. David had packed a bag in the night, leaving a note on the kitchen island. "I love you, but not like this. Forgive me someday." Lily's text followed. "Please hate me. I deserve it." Clara wandered the vineyard trails that morning, mist clinging to her skin like grief, each step crunching fallen leaves that mirrored her shattered heart. Memories assaulted her, their honeymoon in Tuscany, David's fingers laced with hers as they wandered olive groves, Lily braiding wildflowers into Clara's hair at graduation, promising eternal allegiance. Rage simmered, then ebbed into a profound ache, the kind that hollowed you out and left echoes. Was she not enough? Too predictable, too rooted, while they chased horizons. The challenges unfurled like thorns in the weeks that followed. Friends splintered, some siding with the star-crossed lovers, others offering awkward condolences that stung like salt in wounds. Clara's work became a refuge and a torment. Pouring wines that once symbolized joy now tasted of bitterness. Guests' chatter a distant hum against her inner storm. Sleepless nights blurred into days of numb routine. Coffee black as her mood. Runs along the reservoir where she'd once dreamed aloud with David. Confrontation came on a rain-lashed November afternoon. Lily at the door, drenched and desperate, eyes rimmed red. "I love him, Clara. But losing you. It's killing me." Words flew like hail. Accusations of theft. Pleas for understanding, Clara's voice breaking on sobs. "You were my family. How do I trust again?" Lily crumpled, hugging her knees on the welcome mat. In that raw vulnerability, a sliver of truth pierced. Lily's fear of solitude, David's midlife restlessness. No villains, just humans unraveling. They parted with a tentative hug. The rain a baptism of sorts, washing some venom away. Healing crept in sideways, through the vineyard's resilient cycles. Winter pruned the vines bare, mirroring Clara's soul, exposed, aching but poised for regrowth. She threw herself into the land, tending rows at dawn, the soil cool and yielding under her hands. It was there, amid the furrows, that she met Theo Reyes, the new agronomist hired to consult on sustainable practices. At 38, he was a quiet force. Bronze skin etched with laugh lines from years in California's Central Valleys, dark eyes that held the patience of ancient oaks. His hands were calloused from fieldwork, voice a gentle rumble laced with a faint Mexican lilt. Their first exchange was practical. "The soil here whispers secrets if you listen," he said, kneeling to test pH levels. His smile crinkling the corners of his eyes. Clara, guarded as frost, nodded curtly. But Theo saw through, the shadows under her eyes, the way her fingers trembled on the trowel. What began as shared silences in the dirt evolved into tentative confessions over thermoses of strong coffee in the tool shed. Theo spoke of his own scars, a divorce that left him adrift, rebuilding on leased land with nothing but grit and green dreams. "Love isn't a straight row," he murmured one foggy morning, as they pruned stubborn shoots. "It twists, sometimes breaks. But it grows back stronger." Clara's walls crumbled drop by drop. First a laugh at his terrible puns about vine and fine wine, then tears shared under a sheltering arbor as she unpacked the wreckage of her marriage. He listened without judgment, his hand steady on her shoulder, an anchor in the tempest. Romance ignited softly, like embers stirred to flame. A spring equinox picnic amid blooming mustard flowers, where Theo unpacked tamales wrapped in banana leaves. His abuela's recipe, steam rising like hope. They talked until stars pricked the twilight, her dreams of writing a wine memoir, his of a co-op farm for immigrant families. When his lips brushed hers, tentative as a first bud, it was revelation. Tender, unhurried, tasting of earth and renewal. "I've been waiting for you," he whispered, forehead to hers, and Clara wept, not from loss but from the miracle of being chosen anew. Their love unfolded in stolen sunsets, walks hand in hand through the vines, his thumb tracing circles on her palm, nights in his modest trailer, bodies entwined under quilts, whispers weaving futures from fragile threads. Intimacy was a homecoming. His touch reverent on her curves, her sighs a melody he'd hum back, their joining a dance of rediscovered grace. Challenges lingered, shadows on the sun. David's occasional check-ins stirred old ghosts. A divorce finalized with papers that felt like chains slipping free. Lily's wedding invitation arrived like a dagger. Ivory envelope, scripted vows. But Clara burned it in the fire pit, ashes scattering on the wind she now welcomed. Jealous whispers from town folk tested her, but Theo's unwavering gaze grounded her. "You're the vintage they can't replicate." The heartfelt pinnacle came on a golden July eve. Harvest moon rising fat and forgiving. Theo proposed amid the crushed pad, knee in the damp earth, ring a simple band etched with vine motifs. Grow with me, Clara. Not despite the storms, but through them. On her knees with him, yes, spilling from lips swollen with joy, she glimpsed redemption. Love not as possession, but as partnership, fierce and fertile. In Napa's embrace, Clara learned that betrayal's blade forges sharper hearts. With Theo's hand in hers, the vineyard thriving under their care, she raised a glass to horizons anew, not erasing the past but planting over it. For in losing what she thought was forever, she'd unearthed a love that rooted deeper, bloomed wilder, a testament to souls that, once scarred, shine eternal. If this story of heartbreak's quiet alchemy and love's resilient bloom resonated with you, we'd be thrilled if you'd subscribe to Evermore Love right now. We're so close to 1K subscribers, and your join would light up our world, unlocking even more tales of passion and healing. Please watch the full video too. Every detail is crafted for your heart. Your complete view fuels our dreams. Thank you for sharing this journey. Countless beautiful love stories are waiting just for you.